I love to be on TV. You have to be careful with who you hang out with these days. That's why I'm here. That was wow. Stop the camera and let me out of here.
Hi, what's your name?
Just want to say my little poem first. I'm so hot, I'm so hot. Why do people say I'm not? It's about 35 degrees. Okay. My name is Amen. That sounds like amen, like the end of your Christian prayers. You know what I mean? But I'm actually not a Christian.
So what brings you down here to Kuala Lumpur?
I came yesterday. It's my first time in KL. Well, actually, I was here like 40 years ago. But this is my first time in a long time. I've been to Malaysia a few times, but I always go to Penang because I like it up there. So this time I decided, I just came from Bali yesterday, and I'm gonna stay here for 2 weeks to see whether I like it, because people say that like KL is a great place to live, but everybody ends up going to like Bangkok or Singapore or other places like that, Hong Kong. But so I came here to see, just to get a feel. I'm not actually going to do anything about coming here to live now, because I'm going to be traveling for another 7 months. But the thoughts will be in my head, and I'll know, well, that's KL. How does it compare with everywhere else? That's why I'm here.
What do you like about Kuala Lumpur so far?
What do I like so far? Stop the camera and let me think about that. What do I like? Well, obviously I like Asia, Southeast Asia, because of the weather. And I like KL because of the food. Everyone says that, because you got the Chinese food, the Malay food, and the Indian food. So that's what everyone says. But I don't know. I haven't made up my mind whether or not it's the kind of place that I like, because everything is so far apart. It seems to, it's not kind of walking distance city. It seems to have kind of centers dotted all around. So as I said before, I'll just see how it goes and see whether or not I like that kind of environment.
Okay, did you experience any culture shock coming to Malaysia?
Oh, I got my culture shock about 50 years ago when I first went to Pakistan.
Okay.
I landed in Karachi, and that was wow.
I can imagine 50 years ago too.
Yeah, I was crazy then. I'm sure, like everywhere else, things have improved. Look at Singapore. Like Singapore was like Dublin, like 50 years ago when I first went to Singapore. It was a bit like Dublin, a small little provincial town, and look at it now. It's an international city. It's fabulous. So I'm sure KL is going to do exactly the same thing, but bigger and better at some stage in the future.
Got it. So we got Pakistan, Dublin. Where are you from anyways?
I'm from Dublin.
I thought you were maybe, so I just want to be sure. Okay,
I have a funny accent because I've been retired for like 20 years, and every year I spend about 9 months traveling all over the place. So my accent probably sounds a bit crazy.
Okay.
I'm nearly 70. I'll be 70 this year. So I retired when I was 50.
What is your secret, man? You don't look 70 or even close to it.
I think I got my good looks from my mother, and my vitality from my old man. He was running around, when he was 75.
Yeah, man, that's good to know. What would you say to someone that is like in retirement age or wants to retire in Asia? Any advice for them? Because some people are scared.
Asia, if you're a deviant, I suppose Thailand is the place for you. I spent a lot of time last year in Cambodia. That's an up and coming kind of place for because people on a certain budget. Cambodia probably suits, whereas Thailand, it's the budget's gone up, and of course if you stay in Hong Kong or Singapore, you need the same money as you need at home. Where are you from, by the way?
I'm from Afghanistan originally, but
Afghanistan, but you ended up in the USA, no doubt.
Close, Canada.
Oh, Canada. What's happening with Canada these days? Jesus, everything I see on TikTok saying Canada's gone to the dogs.
Enough for me to even leave, right? So I left in 2019, and
that's it. People are evacuating. Let me out of here. Beam me up, Scotty.
Of course, yeah. About Malaysia, tell us a bit about cost of living. A lot of people don't know how.
I don't. I'm not one of those. Like I do have a budget, but I don't stay at the Ritz, whatever. But my budget for hotels a day is like about $40.
Yeah.
I actually got a nice apartment for a little bit more than that. So here in KL, so my budget is well, 40 bucks, and then last night I spent about 20 bucks on food, but I hadn't eaten all day, so I did have a big dinner. So budgets. If you have 100 bucks a day, what's that? That's 5,000 bucks a month.
Yeah,
Is
not
it
even,
no,
right? $3,000 a month. It's not
Yeah.
much, yeah?
Yeah, well, it just depends on what you want to do.
Yeah.
If you want to, just take it easy and walk. Like I walked over here from, I'm staying over in Times Square, actually, this condo is called. So that's a little bit of a hike. So, if you're going to jump in taxis all the time or whatever, you just live to suit your budget. Whatever
Yeah.
budget you have, you just make do.
Would you say that
That's the
Kuala
secret of
Lumpur,
life.
I guess so, is more walkable than some other Southeast Asian countries?
No, it's not walkable. As I said before, it's very spread out, so it's not cozy. But like if you're living here and you have a bike or a vehicle, a car, I'm sure it's good. The thing is that the people are good. It's more laid back. It has a laid back atmosphere. You don't have people hassling all the time like in Thailand or in a lot of the other. I was in Vietnam there a couple of years ago. They're hustling all the time. They want you to come into my restaurant, come into my bar, come into my whatever massage parlor, everything. But here they seem to be. They don't. They're very friendly. If you approach them and ask for directions, they're prepared to stop and have a chat with you.
Yeah.
But they don't kind of hassle you to do this or do that, and I like that.
Okay, a couple more questions and I promise I'll let you go, okay?
Let me go. Wow.
Tell me a little bit are you single? Are you married?
I have been married. I kind of say like I don't do the married thing, but I did have a couple of de facto wives. I lived with my first girlfriend from Sri Lanka. I lived with her for 7 years. Second was from France. I lived with her for 8 years.
Okay.
And the third was from Bangladesh. Actually, I'm meeting a lot of Bangladeshis here, and they're surprised that I know that the capital of Bangladesh is Dhaka. And my third wife, she came from Chittagong, so they're even more surprised that I know
So
that.
you know about it, right? Okay. Would you consider dating or marrying? Well, you said not married, but would you consider dating a local
no.
here?
No, I'm not interested in all that kind of scene. The reason being that, when you have a certain amount of capital wealth, you have to be careful with who you hang out with these days, because you can, even just living with some woman for 12 months or 2 years, all of a sudden they have you in court and they want half of what you got. Okay. So that's it. If I meet a lady has equivalent wealth, and likes to do the things I like to do, yes, I could, but that's highly unlikely.
Story,
so,
right? Okay.
But we'll see how it goes. I'm not giving up.
Okay. And lastly, would you actually retire in Malaysia?
Well, that's what I'm here to find out. I'm not really. I'm a beachy kind of person, but I'm more of a city person.
Yeah.
And like I was brought up in Dublin, and if I was staying in Malaysia, I think. So far, like I've only been here 2 days, so far in KL, but so far, if Malaysia, Georgetown would be it for me, or Penang, because Penang is kind of beachy up the beach, or and I like the size of Georgetown. That is a walkable kind of city, and it's got good transport, easy to get to the airport, all those kind of things. So. Yes, I would seriously consider staying or living in Malaysia. I'm looking for somewhere now. I've got to, I won't say I live in Australia, but I do have investments there, and I go there regularly. But I want to stop doing that after it turned fascist it's the same as in Canada, the way they turned fascist during the pandemic. So I didn't like that, and when I don't like something, I do something about it. So that's it. I am seriously thinking about somewhere to live outside. I detest the West, what they're doing in I was going to say Afghanistan, but yeah, what they have done in Afghanistan and everywhere else, but particularly now what they're doing in Gaza, and what they're supporting in Gaza in the EU and the US, and I don't like what's going on in Ukraine. I don't think it's all down to Vladimir Putin. They tried to pin everything on him, but NATO, you know, brought it to him. And yeah, I don't agree with all that shit. And this new world order bullshit, I don't want nothing to do with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to.
Live your life,
I'm a
man.
free thinker and a free liver. I like that, you know, everyone to their own, you know, like this with, you know, all the gay people and the trans people. Yeah, you can do what you like. I'm not gonna interfere with that, but, you know, don't bring it into the schools. That's all I can say. That's a mistake you made. If any trans are looking, don't take it into the schools, because people get their back up when you mess with their kids. So that's
Well,
it.
thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
It's my pleasure, as you can see. I love to be on TV.
Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think of Eamon's answers. And one thing I want to say, that he's not talking about Kuala Lumpur being like not a walkable city because the footpaths or the, you know, pedestrian lanes, all that. He's talking about all the tourist attractions being far spread apart, where you need a car or public transport or something like that. Because for me personally, I find KL, actually any city in in Malaysia, very walkable, very friendly, really wide roads. You can pretty much walk anywhere. I've been out walking all the time, every single day. And yeah, I also bring these videos to you guys so you have an idea if you want to retire somewhere, because it's a bit more different if you want to retire somewhere compared to actually traveling there or visiting for like 1 or 2 days. So yeah, if you take time to write your comments, I'll take your time to respond. And yeah, that's it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.